Hey, what's up guys, this is Taylor, and today we're going to be playing, or I'm going to be playing, some survival mode on Village, and this is actually not a live commentary. I recorded this the other day, just for shits and giggles. I figured why not record. It's a click away, and it's free, or almost free. I guess electricity costs are negligible. What a boring tangent. Let's move on. So, thus far on this map, I'm really enjoying myself. I really liked it. I thought this was a lot more fun than Resistance. The only problem with this one, though, is that I feel like you are just getting hemmed into the back over and over and over. Like, you end up in this back area just consistently, and once you end up getting forced back behind those shacks, you just end up getting owned because there's no way you can possibly combat them because there's nowhere to stand with a good vantage point on every possible angle that's looking at you. And so usually when you stay in the cave area and the big open areas, you can like post up behind one rock and force them to come at you only from across the bridge and from behind you. But you know, it's a learning experience, guys. It's a learning experience. We're figuring this out. And to those of you who were saying, "Oh, you lost all your armor on the first round last time I did it," yeah, no shit. It's because I knife on the first round because hard asses knife on the first round. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Does that irritate you? Does that make your tampon itch? Does that make your tampon itch that I'm going balls to the wall knifing in the first round? That's a shame. That's a damn shame. Get your shit together. No, I'm kidding. Imagine if I were seriously that mad. But anyway, one strategy I found, or not so much a strategy, just kind of a thing, is always picking up the 1887. It's actually decent until like wave 5 or so, and it kills the people and the dogs from close range. I have a hunch that the dogs actually have more health than the humans. I'm not sure on that. I don't even know where I would go about checking, but I'm pretty sure that's true because I feel as though when I shoot the dogs with the 1887, it takes 2 shells as opposed to a human, which is generally 1. But anyway, so good story for today is I actually got in my first car accident today, and I know it makes it sound epic and ridiculous, but it wasn't too bad. I rear-ended a lady who was of the Orient and who was a lady. I already said that. I was trying to think of a clever way to say lady, then I realized I already divulged it. Now I'd be quite the fool. But yeah, so rear-ended an Asian lady. That is embarrassing. But seriously though, when you rear-end someone, you have to take some responsibility at least because it is your fault. You should have been looking forward. There's no excuse for that. I should have been looking forward. But the reason I wasn't looking forward wasn't because I was texting or doing any of that dumbass stuff. It was because I was we were going straight, right? And everyone who doesn't live in the United States or who drives on the left, I don't know what countries drive on the left aside from the UK and like Narnia and shit and Middle Earth. But anyway, so yeah, we're driving towards an intersection. It's a big intersection, and our way has the right of way. Our lights are green. We are going straight, and myself and this Asian woman in front of me in a nice old minivan get in the right lane because I have to turn right because I have something to do on the right side, and so hence I'm turning right, and so is she. And unlike most turning lanes where you kind of have to stop there for a second and yield, this actually had its own lane, and so the turning lane was its own lane. You didn't even have to merge, so you could just whip it around this corner and keep going in your own lane, and that lane was like 300, 400 yards long, and in a 45-mile-an-hour traffic lane, that's really not that bad. You can easily get over if need be, and so it really was, it was not a question of whether or not we should be slowing down. We should have kept going because, like, first of all, like I think of it as like a NASCAR rule of the road. Like, yeah, it's not an official rule of the road, but if you're coming up on a right turn and you have the green going in your direction, you don't really need to stop and yield because obviously the cars coming on the road adjacent to you aren't going to whip over and rear-end you because the cars are already going, forming a wall of cars, protecting your ass from the other cars, the evil ones on the other side. And so I feel like that's kind of like, it's kind of like a courtesy thing. Like, people know that, like, oh, you don't need to come to a stop. You just keep rolling on through. Roll on through, not a big deal. But she didn't know that, and it was very terrible. I was still looking back in the other direction towards the intersection, and I rammed her, and it was pretty unpleasant. Fortunately, my car was in pretty good shape. Like, it wasn't bad at all. It sounded terrible. I was so terrified when I heard the crunch of it. I was just like immediately like my heart sank, and I was just like, shit, Taylor, you are such a dumbass. How the hell did you do that? And then she got out of the car, and she was just like a small Asian woman who was like really having trouble speaking English to me, and I'm like, well, this just turned into a whole Tuesday, didn't it? This just turned into a whole freaking ordeal. Not to say anything mean to her. She was very, very kind and friendly, and she took notice that I was a college student and said that she would do her best to make sure that insurance didn't get too crazy out on me and she wasn't making ridiculous claims, which I humbly appreciate that, although I sincerely doubt she will ever see this. But anyway, yes, that's a pretty intense story. But anyway, the only bad part on my car is the grill, and a little bit of paint is chipped off in the front. And her car was essentially spotless. Like, it was shocking how little damage I did to that car. Like, when I hit it, I was for sure that when like, she pulled away to go into the parking lot to meet up and talk to me, I was just sure that her bumper was just going to fall off and shatter, because I was like, there's no way that Toyota Windstar, or whatever the hell that is, Ford Windstar, is able to withstand the brunt of my Chrysler 300 just ramming right up its ass, and then just... God, this got way more homoerotic than I intended for the description. Whatever, we're just going to cut it right there and make it a little less overtly gay. Which is fine if that's your thing, you know, if that's what you do with the with Mercadurka's videos. Who am I to judge? If all of these just go straight to the spank bank, you know, that's fine. Go for it. Go nuts. Like, if maybe you MP5 gameplay in a whole new way I just don't even understand. I can't even fathom. But yeah. So for car accident, the only thing I'm not looking forward to is having pay. Because parents are really cool with it. Like, I was worried. Like, it was funny because usually in the last 3 years since I moved out, I kind of stopped worrying about my parents getting me in trouble and such, and so when I do something that's wrong, I'm never like, oh shit, mom and dad are gonna get me. I'm always like, oh god damn it, I better get control of this and handle it myself. But this was the first time in so long, where I did something and immediately I was like, oh shit, man, mom and dad are gonna be so pissed, and like it was just like a flashback back to me at 16 again. But as it turns out, I should have known this, but my parents were much more reasonable than my ridiculous mind anticipated, so thumbs up for that. And yeah, that's all I gotta say for now. I will see you guys in the next episode, where I will think of another random story to tell, and it will probably have no relevance to anything whatsoever in any conceivable way, shape, form, or fashion. Alright, bye.